Hey everybody, just give us a few minutes. I'm just looking at getting us also on Facebook Live, and it's just taking me a minute to get that started. So I'm going to give it one more try to get us on live on Facebook so that we can be doing it simultaneously. So thank you for your patience. You're on. Hey, Sharon. So everybody, I really appreciate y'all's patience because we're doing this for the first time, and it's a new concept with Zoom, and so I'm kind of going through my learning curve here. So I'm going to look at us. We may not be able to get live on Facebook, so we're just going to do it as a webinar, and I will give it one more attempt. And so let's see here. All right. So I'm so excited to see you. Everybody's here. So hi, Angelica, Fran. Let's see. We have Jamie Lee, Jane, Laura, Lori, Novi, Paige, Tina. We're so glad that you guys could make it. And I'm going to go ahead and get myself on video and just kind of give you a little bit of background of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So Laura, I'm not sure why you lost the video, but at least if you can hear us, all you're doing would be looking at us right now. So, so it'll be fine. So let's see. I want to thank y'all for joining us on our first one here. Why this started and why this happened was I want to give a shout out to Juniper Tree. Because when I was out in Vancouver, Washington this past summer, my last month that I was there in September, I went to their new moon gathering there, and there was this amazing astrologer named Sharon Zimmerman who I got to meet for the first time, and I was fascinated by the information that she gave that pertained to the new moon. And then she was offering to let people get personalized new moon readings, and I was all about that. So I was absolutely fascinated by it. I looked for something here when I came back home, and I could not see anything like that here. And so I thought, what the heck, we will do it virtually. And so here's the upside of being involved with an astrologer is that she tells you like when are the good things, and then she makes you change dates and times as well. So we were going to do a new moon starting in February, and then she like texted me like 4 days ago and said, I think we should do the total lunar eclipse because it would be the best time to start this project and for us to start this endeavor. And so we threw it together. So we're flying by the seat of our pants a little bit, and it'll be perfect. So we're just glad that you decided to join us. So that's why we've done this. Just to let you know, if you're not a part of our Facebook group, it's www.joinmoongatherings.com. So you want to join us there. and then we'll let you know the dates and everything else. So with not much ado, to kind of move it on, why you're here, or one of the many reasons I would hope, is to hear what Sharon has to say. So I'm going to let you take it away, Sharon.
Really happy to be here. I'm very grateful for your attendance and your interest, and I'm very grateful to Brenda and her expertise and her vision and her idea in the first place. This was her inception, so I'm very grateful. This is, as she said, this is our first new moon gathering, or full moon gathering. It's our maiden voyage. So the maiden voyage of the maidens. And so anyway, so welcome. So my question now is to all of you, how are you feeling? These eclipses always bring up feelings of intensity all around. So this is a full moon lunar eclipse. And so it's like a full moon that's on steroids. Hi, Chula. So I know that there are a variety of people listening in now for who is registered that might be listening to the recording. I know there are professional astrologers as well as people that have just never had a reading before. So I will try to strike a happy medium and make this interesting for everybody. So tonight at 9:16 p.m. Pacific time, I'm in Vancouver, Washington. We will be experiencing a very powerful full moon that is also eclipsed. And it's eclipsed because the Earth moves into the shadow of, it moves and creates a shadow on the moon, blocking the light from the sun. So with an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, that always stirs up the shadows and and it increases our awareness of what's been in the dark, and we're able to see hidden motivations and fears a little bit differently, and we just get we see things in a different light. And so it's an inflow of new energy, actually. So the eclipse, the entirety of the eclipse takes about 3 hours, but the total is at 9:16 p.m. And I hope you are living in a place where you will be able to see it, because we here have very heavily clouded skies. So I don't hold up a lot of hope for having to be able to see it. Now, this is the last lunar eclipse until May of 2021. And it's the first this year of supermoon eclipses, which means that the moon is the closest in its orbit that it can get to us on Earth. And we'll have 3 of those this year. So it's the first this year. And the moon will be about 14% larger in the sky. All full moons in general are a time of culmination and endings, of releasing and letting go. And full moons are a good time to detox, to start a diet, because it's releasing 2 things that I will be starting as of tomorrow. Anyway, new moons are the times of new beginnings and seed planting of intentions. So this full moon is actually a combination of both, because not only is it endings and releasing of old things, but it's very supported because the North Node is conjunct the moon. And so the North Node is is a new direction. It's a new learning for all of us, and it points to what we should be aiming for, and the direction that we should be going in general. And it's where our real spiritual growth occurs. And as a result, it's where our true happiness is. And so on January 5th, we had a solar eclipse. So that was a new moon, and it was a time of new beginnings. But it was also conjunct the South Node, which had a lot of endings that were associated with it. So both of them are a mixture of new and old. And so it's a way of letting us know that we need to let go of old things and let go of, ways of being in the world, or ways of thinking about things, or at the very least, just cleaning out our closets. But things have to be let go of to take the most advantage of new things that are coming into your life. And this full moon is at 0 degrees of Leo, and therefore it's the last eclipse that occurs in this Leo-Aquarius axis that has been going on for 2 years. And there's always the opposition, Leo to the Aquarius. It's hard to explain in 10 minutes. But this has been going on since February of 2017. And that first eclipse was at 22 degrees of Leo. And in a little bit, I'm going to be looking at Brenda's chart. And that first eclipse in February 2 years ago was really on her sun. So this is a culmination period. This is the last eclipse. And so I'll be giving this demonstration for Brenda in her chart as an idea of what a 10-minute reading will be like, in case any of you were interested in finding out where things are falling in your chart. But so this eclipse tonight harkens back to what's been going on since about 2 years ago. And for all of us, it depends on where 20 to 24 degrees of Leo falls into your chart as to where the light is being shown, and new directions are coming up to you as in regards to creativity and love, the two Leo themes, and where are you having more fun in your life. So with both eclipses, there has been a very strong clash of sudden eruptive energies, very revolutionary energies, and that is because of Uranus. Uranus is breakthroughs. It's breaking free, and Uranus is the cosmic awakener. It wants us to wake up. And so Uranus is all about liberating us from what's not working and what's to be let go of. And oftentimes with Uranus, it's like a lightning bolt. It just comes up out of the blue. And earthquakes are associated with Uranus. It's just out of the blue. But it gets your full attention. So these two eclipses have had a Uranian message to them of, wake up. And things that are associated with Uranus are also thinking out of the box and being very creative and being very original. So these eclipses have really been showing us that we have to question what's we've thought as normal, and it's bringing in a whole new status quo. So to add to the intensity of just a regular eclipse, this weekend, the moon has gone into Cancer. And Cancer is very tender, and it's emotional and sensitive. And it's been in opposition to Saturn, and Saturn has been squaring Mars. So to translate that, first of all, it's a formula for eruption, of emotional outbursts. Saturn in Capricorn is the law, and it's the truth. It is the truth with capital Truth. And Saturn can also be the stop sign, but it's in a conflicting angle called the square with Mars and Aries. And so Mars wants to challenge that. And Mars is in Aries is the warrior, and it's the pioneer. So then you get that mix with the moon and its tender emotions. It's, very difficult. But in general, Mars squaring Saturn, which is going on now in the world for everybody, is very militaristic. It has this my way or the highway quality to it. But it has a very determined nature as well. So emotions run high this weekend. And it always makes me think of Prince's quote of, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here this day to get through this thing called life." Anyway, there are some really sweet things going on. There are a million things going on, and I don't have time to talk about it. It would take years. But just to boil down to some important things. One is that the North Node is in Cancer. Now, the nodes are not planets. They are mathematical points in space. And I'll just leave it at that. So the South Node is the opposite polarity of the North. And the South Node is very instructive as to what old energy is that is to be let go of or to be moving away from. And with the South Node, you always look at it with kind of a jaundiced look. You give it a more negative interpretation. You look at it in the lower vibration of the sign that it's in, because it's something you're moving away from. Whereas with the North Node, that is where your evolutionary growth occurs. And it's very new, and therefore it's not always easy to go to. The old is familiar, and you're where you fall back on sometimes. But the North Node is where it's the most helpful, and it's where you have the most growth for yourself. So since November and for 18 months, the North Node will be in Cancer. And the sign of Cancer is all about your feelings, and it's your emotions, and it's what your heart wants. And, Cancer in general is just very tender, and it's very compassionate, and it's gentle. And so with the North Node in Cancer, it's like, I just read something, I forgot who said it, but it's like coming home to yourself. And today's eclipse is with this North Node in Cancer. It's highlighting. So we're all looking at the question of what is really going to make us happy? What does our heart say? And so when in doubt, you always should lean into where the North Node is. So at least for the next year, be asking yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel about this? And then go towards that. It's letting your feelings inform you, and not so much your logical mind. That would be the South Node in Capricorn, is thinking it out. And if you think you're going to think it out, then it's not always going to happen the best way. So another thing that is going on that I feel like is important to address is the fact that Jupiter, which is in Sagittarius, is making this difficult square aspect with Neptune in Pisces. And they're both in their own sign, or the sign where they function the best. So it's really strong. Jupiter is a planet that opens up possibilities. and it's very optimistic, and it often brings opportunities. But you know, we have this heavy background music that is playing with the South Node in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, and they're all kind of coming together. And it's all this year and next year. So as I said, Saturn is the law, Saturn is the truth, and Saturn is also very karmic, and it's a taskmaster. It wants you to get to work. And Pluto is the sign of the planet of transformations. It's literally called the planet of death and rebirth, not necessarily of the physical body, but of old ways of being that are outworn. And so this is all going on in Capricorn, and with the South Node there. So among many other things, and there are many, many fine qualities to Capricorn for sure. I wish I had more of it in my chart, but with the South Node there, it's very much about the government, you know, and this is in the world, and it's big impersonal institutions. So the South Node, again, is letting go of what no longer is productive and useful. So this is a drumbeat that's going on around us for the next couple of years. And the crescendo, the cymbals will crash, perhaps, I don't know, a year from now, where Saturn and Pluto meet. They have a date. And so, you know, this all being in Capricorn, there is a bit of heaviness that's in the air. I mean, God, all you have to do is turn on the TV, and which I try not to do too much. But, you know, there are lovely things like Jupiter in Sagittarius, and it brings a lot of optimism till it's there for the rest of the year, until December. So Jupiter brings opportunities. It's very expansive to whatever it touches, but it's in this kind of a challenging aspect with Neptune. And Neptune at its highest expression is feeling like you have just touched the face of God. But in its lower expression, it's delusional, it's illusions, and, you know, it's not the truth. And in a lower expression, it's denial, and it's throwing up smoke screens, and it's escapism, and it can even be just numbing out. So here's Jupiter, extravagant, super optimistic, coming in with illusions. So I call this the illusion alert up through September, because it's going to be real easy to get swept away and think that you're dealing with the facts when in fact that maybe you're not. It's easy to, you just look at all the fake news, for instance, that's been going on for a while. So it'll be easy to, or maybe not so easy, but just be alert to the fact that it's easy to, you know, like, get carried away with something. Just make sure that you know that you're grounded in what it is that you're choosing to believe in. And also for ourselves personally, it's looking at our own stories. You know, what are we telling ourselves? What have we been believing about ourselves? And making sure that the stories are the truth, and to look, you know, it's a crisis in consciousness, really, and it's making sure that we are dealing with the truth. So Saturn and Pluto are the heavy hitters of the zodiac, and Capricorn is this top-down rule. It is definitely not trickle up. And Saturn is karma, and we are coming to the karma of what we in the collective, in the world, have are bringing to this point. You know, it's anyway. So this it all remains to be seen how this bigger picture is going to play out. But I heard an interesting analogy that I'm going to pass on. It's another astrologer named Alan Ellenboss. And he was saying, if we think about this as we've just gotten onto an airplane to go to Chicago or someplace, and now that we're on the plane, it's out of our control. We have no control. The plane is going to go where it goes. But you're free to get up and walk about the cabin. You're free to chat with people. You're free to read a book or just sleep if you want. There's still plenty of choices, but it's your attitude that is everything. And it's the way you respond to circumstances that's so important. And and so are the meanings that you give to things that happen into your life. So this is the year to, for us to be working towards our highest level of mastery. And Maurice Fernandez, another astrologer, said that the South Node in Cancer is like finding your home on earth as it is in heaven. So this is a year to streamline and to let go of what no longer is working in your life. And another thing I really want to mention is that right now, and coming to Tuesday, is the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in Sagittarius. So it's very close already. And then on Tuesday's the exact conjunction, and then on January 28th through the 31st, the moon is going to be in Sagittarius along with Jupiter and Venus. So, it's really, really a lovely time. Jupiter and Venus together, all about open-heartedness and generosity and just loving optimism. So wherever 14, 15 degrees of Sagittarius falls in your chart is where there's some ease and there's good luck, and it's very beneficial for you. Anyway, so I highly recommend that you visualize, you meditate, you plant these mental seeds of a loving, healthy, opportunity-filled, healthy future for the highest good of all, everybody, not just the people you like, but everybody, for the highest good of all. And I'm going to also quote another astrologer, Caroline Casey, and my mentor, dear astrology teacher, Emily Trinkus, quotes Caroline, and I will quote them both. And it is that imagination is the track on which the reality train runs. So just be sure that you're using your imagination for where you want to be. Okay.
So aren't you glad that we are recording this and that you will get a copy of this recording? Because it's the thing that I love about Sharon. It's like the information that you give, how to apply it in your life, and everything. So, Sharon's great. And thanks, Sharon, for that. The thing is that what I notice in my practice and working with people's beliefs is that people are so affected by the planets. They're so affected by the moon. And I'm not as much, right? Because I've been working with beliefs for 13 years, but I can always see it out in the public. I can always see the patterns in the clients that I have. And that's why I thought, well, especially with the full moon and it being a total lunar eclipse, wouldn't it be nice to just do some belief work? So we'll always in the moon gatherings, this is what it's going to look like, right? You're going to get to hear from Sharon. You're going to be so thankful that we're recording it because you're going to want to go back and listen to it. And then I'm going to do some belief work for you. So let me just let you know what I'm doing for those of you who are watching this recording or on the call live and don't really understand. people can tell me how they think and how they feel, and what you create in your life is what you believe. Your beliefs are held at a cellular level. A lot of the stuff that you hear out there will tell you, oh, just change how you think. Well, you can do that, but it'll take years. If we actually change it on a cellular level, then how you think and how you feel will just follow it. So, you know, I was taking some notes because I had no idea what Cher was going to be saying. Because like I said, we're flying by the seat of our pants right now. And I wouldn't have done it anyways. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because I like to just go ahead and just let it be organic. So we're being a little organic here in every way that we're doing it. So with theta healing, no work can be done without your permission. I'm not going to unmute people because we're on a webinar versus just a Zoom. But it is important for you to say yes out loud so that your brain, the universe, God, whoever you believe in, hears that you want this change. So when I say, would you like to change that, you need to say yes out loud. And I have like muted both Mickey and Sharon, so you don't have to hear them say yes either. And it'll just take a minute. So when we do beliefs, and especially with people I work with for the first time, it's that we change the 3 basic beliefs is that I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. So if you've never had those beliefs changed for yourself, just say yes out loud and we'll change them for you, okay? Okay, and now we're going to go on with what like Sharon told us, right? So we're going to work on a few things like that. Apparently, we need to look at letting go. And we need to look at illusions. So this is the thing. We want to, when we have trauma, which most of us have had, and it's very relative what trauma is, we have what we call, from a theta healing perspective, we have what we call, we have free-floating memories, and they hang out with us and they're magnets to draw the same situation so we can re-experience the trauma, or for us to project it onto something and make it that trauma. So we're kind of damned if we do, right? All the way around. So a lot of times what I just do is remove the free-floating memories from the original event, because we don't know what that event is. And theta healing works on 4 different levels. Beliefs that we inherit, because you know we inherit them. If you believe in past lives, what we've had in our past lives and brought into this life, and if you don't, that's okay. We bring them in through our soul and we have them experience in this lifetime. So what I want to do is I want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event, that the result is that it's not safe for us to let go. And also forgive ourselves for not having the discernment of when to let go and when not to. And then also download us with what it feels like to let go and that it be safe. And also what it feels like to have the discernment, to know when to let go and when not to. So if you'd like that, just say yes. We want to look at having these breakthroughs and breaking free of what's not working. But we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event, that breakthroughs and breaking free can only happen very jolt-like. Like, yes, we understand that there, you know, with a planet that is like a lightning bolt, I think it was Uranus, is jolting us to do this. But you know what? We can just be aware of it and change it without it having to throw all of our worlds upside down, right? So let's go ahead and remove the free-floating memories from the original event, that we can only have a breakthrough. We can only break free and it be very, very jarring. And then what it feels like to be able to do those with grace and ease, and that it's safe. So if you'd like those, just say yes. And please make sure that you're saying yes out loud. We want to look at the truth, illusions. Those kind of fall hand in hand, right? Because we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligates us to be in the illusion. And then what it feels like to live without the illusion and it be safe for us. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that requires that that we're obligated to be misinformed about the truth, and that we know what it feels like in our heart of hearts, what the truth is. So if you'd like those, just say yes. And we want to understand from that higher perspective of what a death and a rebirth is. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event, again, that we're obligated to have death and rebirth be very, turn our world upside down. And that a death and rebirth, which again, we're not talking about physical, we're talking about everything else from that perspective, that can occur with grace and ease. So if you'd like that, just say yes. And then let's go ahead and let's do the things that are going to allow us to be moving forward, like thinking out of the box, being creative, being optimistic, being the masters that we are. So we're going to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being creative, from thinking out of the box, from being optimistic, from being a master. And then download us with what it feels like to be those, and that they're safe, and how it serves us to do those in our lives now. So if you'd like that, just say yes out loud. Beautiful. So just so you know, in doing the webinar setup, it really only allows us to have 3 panelists, but I always have my trusty assistant. She's always here. She assists me with all belief work that I do, but she doesn't have her own computer, so she doesn't have her own panel. Just so you know. So you're getting a 4, for 3, and it's all good. Got to make you aware of that. One of the things that I really loved about doing the live event in Vancouver was that there was a gal there who, doTERRA, which again, I'm going to say this. I don't have whatever essential oils you use, right? What doTERRA does though is they actually create a blend, a recommendation of a blend to use with every month with each new moon, which I think was brilliant. So Mickey is going to let you know, because typically what you want to do is you want to use the blend in the new moon, because new moon is about intention. So what we thought we would do is to let you understand what the blend would be for the new moon in February. Because again, if you would like to get that, we need to mail it to you, right? So Mickey Meissner is going to be speaking to you now.
Hi, can you hear me, Brenda?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just want to speak a little bit about why we sort of solidify the whole intention setting with essential oils and what that's all about. And also why I have chosen personally doTERRA to align myself and to use. So first of all, the olfactory system, the sense of smell, is so closely tied to your emotions. And if you think about a time when you were a child in your mother's or grandmother's kitchen, and you think about what the smells were, it will elicit an emotion. And emotions involve your whole system. They involve your body and your respiratory system and your heart and your brain and your endocrine system, and just everything is all tied together with emotions. And so each month there are 3 different essential oils that are tied to the intention setting. So the new moon is a time to plant seeds and to set intentions and to move forward into the new things. And we just wanted to give you a heads up on what the new moon blend for February would be. And I'm just going to give you a little teaser. I won't read the whole emotions behind the essential oils that we're going to be using, but just the things that we will be releasing and then calling forth, and then what the oils are. So this is what the roller balls are going to look like. I have my December roller ball here, and I actually had a 6-year-old help me put this label on. Yours will be nicer. This is my December one, so it's well loved and well used. And the thought behind using the essential oils with your intention setting is twofold. One, they each have a meaning and elicit certain emotions for letting go of and setting forth. And the other is throughout the month, when you think about the intentions that you're setting, you're going to use these every day, at least once or twice a day. And you're going to put them on your wrist or on your points, your healing points, and you're going to think about the intentions that you set. And the smell of the oils are going to intensify the emotion behind and the thought behind the intentions that you set. And you know how they say that you get what you think about all of the time. So this is just really intensifying the intentions that you set so that you can move forward with grace and ease and power, and just really with a thoughtful process. So the 3 oils that we're going to be looking at in February are, 1, patchouli. Let's see if I can get this right. And patchouli is the oil of physicality and the negative emotions associated with it. So that we're going to be releasing are body shame, disconnect from the body, judgment of the body, and tension in the body. And so patchouli is a very peculiar scent. It's really strong, and some people love it, and some people don't love it. The combination of the 3 blends that we're going to be using for February are very heavy and intense, and I'm actually really excited about them. I blended them up this morning. I was like, wow, really, it's a very strong scent. But again, the thought process behind that is that you're really going to remember when you put that oil on the intentions that you set, and we're going to be doing that together in February when we do the new moon blend. So the positive properties behind patchouli are being grounded, using things in moderation, body contentment. So really just that self-love and loving the skin you're in and being where you're at, being balanced, having stability, being present in your body, and being physically expressive and being okay with yourself in that ability to be physically expressive. So the roller balls that we're going to be, if you check the box that you are interested in essential oils, you have a couple of choices. You can purchase the roller balls, which are $18, and we will mail them to you, and they'll have labels on them similar to this. And you can get the roller ball for $18. If you want to get the oils ahead of time, if you're really interested in the oils, I would suggest that you have a wholesale account. And again, I've chosen doTERRA, 1, because of their quality. Essential oils raise your vibration. And the whole thought behind doTERRA is what they give to the community, the Helping Hands nonprofit that they align themselves with is growing essential oils in remote parts of the earth where the plants that the oils are derived from have the strongest properties. And they're grown in places like Africa and in small villages. And so they've employed the people of those villages to grow these oils and harvest these oils. And part of that is the fact that we are changing these 3rd world countries in a really big way, in a beautiful way. We're impacting their ecological system, or their economical system, excuse me, well, both. But the Helping Hands Foundation is also helping protect those villages and provide for those villages, and put schools in those villages. So part of the reason that I chose doTERRA essential oils is because of their quality, and also because of the vibration of the people that stand behind it. And the more I learn about them, the more I realize that they're a company that you can stand behind and get behind and put your name behind. And that's really important to me, because we are energetical vibrational beings. And for me to ethically put forth what I want to put forth to this new moon circle is know the quality of the oils that you're getting. So yes, it's okay to use whatever oils you have. I personally, I wouldn't buy my oils at Walmart. So quality, I'm all about quality and intention and energy. So the energy of patchouli is a very high vibration, and it's very grounding. So the first oil is patchouli, the oil of physicality. The second oil that we're going to be talking about is Douglas fir. And Douglas fir, this one's beautiful. It's the oil of generational wisdom. And you almost think of Christmas when you smell Douglas fir. The negative emotions that we're going to be releasing with this oil are negative generational patterns. So Brenda, when you were talking about the generations of beliefs and those passed down, this is the one to release those negative and just help sear that in and help you remember, yep, that's what I'm doing this month. So it also helps release the burdened feeling of burden of the issues of our elders and our generations past. So the positive properties of Douglas fir are generational healing, which we all need, respect for elders, and I think we can all agree that we need more of that in our world today, wisdom, and learning from the past. So again, a very grounding, it's a strong oil. We're just using a couple of drops in your roller ball, so it'll be mixed with fractionated oil, so it comes out very easily. You don't have to worry about spilling it on your clothes or it staining anything. So the third oil that we're going to be using is geranium. And geranium, it's a very pungent, amazing oil. This is the oil of love and trust. And generation restores confidence in the goodness of others. It's an amazing oil. It talks about emotional healing. It works on our ability to trust and forgive. Our ability to be gentle and loving and tolerant and open. So those are the positive aspects of it. What we're going to be releasing with this oil are emotional issues, including, this is a big one, abandonment and loss and distrust. It carries the energy to release unforgiving, unloving, disheartened, and grief. So I'm really excited about this oil. It's a very unique blend. It's a unique set of oils, and it's one that when you set that intention and you smell the oil, you're really going to know that you're moving forward in doing that. And I want to just talk, well, real briefly before I go there. So the wholesale, there's a difference. There's a wholesale price for doTERRA oils, and there's a retail price for doTERRA oils. And I'm not going to lie, they're not cheap. There's a reason for that. I believe that they're the best on the market. The Douglas fir retails for $26 a bottle. Wholesale account through doTERRA is $35. And we're going to provide you a link to get your own wholesale account. Or you can just buy it retail, or again, you can just get the roller ball. Patchouli retails for $39.33. And as you can see, it's a pretty big bottle. There's a lot of drops of oil in here. This is a 15 milliliter bottle. My Douglas fir is in a 5 milliliter bottle, and these are for the large bottles. So again, patchouli wholesale is $29.50 and retails for $39.50. And geranium is wholesales for $27 and retails for $36. So you'll be provided with all of the links you need. If you just want the roller bottle, let us know. So be specific in the email. And we will send you what you're after, and come new moon circle, we will set our intentions and use the essential oils together and move forward. And I want to just add real quick as a plug for Sharon, because she's a dear friend of mine, and I go to Juniper Circle, Juniper Tree New Moon Circle, and I get my reading done every month. And I believe it was November, I was in Vegas. And so I had them made a roller ball for me, and I loved it, and I used it, and I set my intentions, but I felt a little lost because I was in Vegas and I didn't get my, my reading done. And what's wonderful about having your reading done is it pulls it all together and just helps you really know where your energy is best spent in moving forward, and the best way to set intentions for you personally and where you are in your chart. And I was really new to the whole astrology piece when we first started doing that, but I highly recommend it. And I also highly recommend getting your own oils, because you're going to love them. So that's all I got. Thanks, Brenda.
I want to just share with y'all just a little bit, because Sharon is going to do a reading for me, like a 10-minute reading. I know that some of y'all are on a time deal. If you'd like to hear what my sounds like so that you can see if it's something that you want to do, fantastic. If not, but I do, we would love your support. We would love for you to be in our group on Facebook, which is called Moon Gatherings, but you can get there just by going onto the URL of joining Moon Gatherings. And then, so it's www.joinmoongatherings. Our next gathering, just so you know, is going to be Monday, February 4th. And here are all the times. So 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern. This is the link to register. This will be posted in our group. So it makes it a whole lot easier if you want to take a look at that, okay? And then also too, so just if you want to get the information on what's going on. And then if you, after you hear the 10-minute recorded astrological reading, you can always just send $20 via PayPal to Sharon at saysspirit1@comcast.net. We also, when you get the link for this recording, you'll also get all of these links as well. It is important as well for you to give her, of course, your birth date, time, and place of birth. If you want to get the new moon, the roller ball, just get the roller ball itself. Mickey can mail that to you, and you would want to send $18 to her on at your waterlady@gmail, and of course she needs your shipping info. If you enjoyed the belief work, you want to know more about the belief work, come join my Facebook group. And to get to that one, it's www.joinblastyourbeliefs.com. So if you'd like to get that. If you decide to get a reading or to get the rollerball blend, and because we want to get y'all into the habit of either, since we're doing this so close, you can get a full moon reading by Sharon or you can get a new moon reading. But if you purchase by January 28th, so that you can get these before the new moon in February, you'll be entered into a drawing to get a free one for the month of March. So if you decide to get a reading, you will be in that drawing, and you will be able to get a reading for March. Or if you get the Essential Blend Rollerball and you win, then you'll get the one for March. And again, we just join our group, and we will share everything with you so that you can already know it. So we are going to switch over to letting Sharon do a 10-minute reading for me so you can understand what that would look like. All right. So.
Okay, hi. All right, well, all right, so when I do a reading for anybody, I need to know your date of birth. The time of birth is very, very helpful, and the place of birth. It's not impossible to do a reading without the time of birth, but it's more, you're able to hone in better, focus in better, knowing the time of birth.
It's more accurate.
Yes, much more accurate. And the date, so you get a chart, which, like, this is the chart right now of the eclipse tonight. I'm not sure, I don't know exactly what you're seeing. But so it's a frozen moment in time. And it's like a natal chart is the handprint of potential. And it's kind of the karma that you were born into. I'm an evolutionary astrologer, so I very much believe in past lives. And so your chart now is what you are bringing in to be experienced in this lifetime. So if you remember the analogy about getting onto the airplane and it's going to go where it's going to go, that's a lot about a birth chart. So there are a lot of things that are destined, but you still have a tremendous amount of free will. And the birth chart is a lot about your inner nature. And so it's kind of the karmic cards that you were dealt by choices that you made from previous lifetimes and what you're here to be learning this time. And so people say, well, am I going to have a happy life or something? That is not really reflected in the chart. It's all your happiness is really very much about cultivating your own inner life. So the transits are what's going on in the sky right now and how it's, where in your life it's is being stimulated. So this is Brenda's chart. I marked it up really well. And so the outer wheel is the transits that is going on around the inner wheel, which is her chart. So this full moon is at 0 degrees of Leo. It's occurring in her 5th house of creativity and fun. So the big question for her is, how are you nurturing yourself, Brenda, when it comes to bringing more fun into your life? And Leo is about that expression of creativity and having fun. And so this eclipse is falling in Leo, creativity and fun, in the area of your house that has to do with creativity and fun. So it's a really double dose. Now, the first eclipse in this Leo Aquarius axis that I mentioned was back in February 2017, and that actually occurred right on your sun. And your sun is in the 6th house of which has a lot to do with, or the area of the chart that has a lot to do with your daily health routines, the things that you do that stimulate your health, and your daily habit patterns, and how you do the day-to-day job of your work. So there was a new energy that was coming in to that arena that that sparks something that's coming to fruition now. So you being the organizer, the person who originally had this idea, we should do this, which actually was going to happen in February. But so you had this tremendous vision and, creative effort that you have gone through. I know it's amazing what you've accomplished in just a few days. And I'm very, very grateful for this divine spark for the creative good of all that you have had. So as I said, eclipses bring intensity to things, and there's always a sense of crisis and chaos. And that's because the nodes are making this square aspect to Uranus. And Uranus, that awakener, the disruptor, the liberator. So, you know, there's like this, it's come to a point of culmination and letting go of a lot of things that don't support what your heart's desire is. And it's also for you, it's about breaking away from a lot of family shoulds, and moving into a new direction. You have the moon in Libra, and I don't know if you can see this. I can't see it. So here's your moon in Libra, and I've tried to draw in. That's the square that the nodes are making to your moon, and Uranus is in opposition to your moon. So it's got a bullseye right on your chart. And your moon is in Libra, and people with a Libra moon are they want balance in their life. They don't like, you know, being tossed around. You know, they need a real sense of equilibrium. And, you know, you're even tempered, generally, you're diplomatic, and very relationship oriented. But you've got Uranus, this like earthquake planet, just opposite your moon. And it's been there for 2 years. Off and on, it's moved back and forth. The third and final pass of it was earlier this month. But it's still just 1 degree, it's 1 degree away. So it's still very much involved in your chart. So it's really very much churning issues for you that have a lot to do with your ego and leadership. And because it's the moon, it's your family and it's your mother. And so it's been an unsettling couple of years, I'm sure, very turbulent. And especially for somebody with a moon in Libra, which is like, don't rock my world, you know, like I want to be balanced. But the key is this conscious awareness, as you were saying, about knowing what's going on. So in the chart, the moon is representative of not only your emotions, but it's representative of your family and your mother in particular. And it has a lot to do with your roots and ancestry. So your family is very important to you because the ruler of the moon is Cancer, and it's in your 4th house of roots. So the good news, Brenda, is that all this, you know, upheaval and, you know, what's going on and is almost over. By March, Uranus will have moved on. So yes. So now with the north node, the south node in your chart is in your 11th house. And that actually, wherever the south node is, it's kind of a releasing, and it's has a lot to do with karma. So this actually is so perfect because it's like karmic debts are being paid off by volunteering, and especially volunteer work that's helping for the greater good of everybody. And this is very much your volunteer, and it's for the greater good of everybody. So I thought it was really kind of perfect how that works out. And so the south node is always where the energy goes out. And it goes out in this arena of like-minded people and social connections. So I am wondering if over the past couple of years, you've kind of grown disenchanted with some group affiliations that might not have been as fulfilling for you as they might have been. And so the north node is always where to be going and where you're where you're to be developing more of your creativity. Right now, the sun has just gone into Aquarius, and kind of the thing about Aquarius is I know. And Aquarius is in the 11th house, this area of like-minded people. And so it takes on this, this tone of being part of the chorus, the group. Whereas the moon in Leo now, and with this eclipse, is in your 5th house, and the moon in Leo is the soloist. The moon in Leo is the star, and it's, being on your stage of creativity. And so this has really been so perfect for you. And so it just signals that it's a time for you to be standing out more in your individuality, and especially amongst your family. And to do, what your heart's desire is, and to, celebrate your uniqueness. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I was talking about Venus and Jupiter coming to this conjunction. That's right at the top of your chart. Again, I don't know if you can see it right up here. And this is good luck and good fortune, and it's right at the top of your chart. That 10th house cusp is called the midheaven, and it's your public standing, and it's your career. Going into the 10th house, that's very much about your career. So as of like next week, Jupiter will be going into your 10th house and spending a year there. And again, Jupiter brings bounty, and it brings lots of opportunities for achievement. So 10 minutes are up.
So this just kind of gives you an idea of the information that you can get from a 10-minute reading with Sharon. And it's such a confirmation and validation. Like, I'm like, that's true. Like, I didn't want to interrupt her because I wanted to hear what she was saying. So it kind of gives you an idea if that's something that you're interested in. Again, we just want you to come. We want you to find out about what oils you want to be using at this time. We want you to find out about what's going on overall for everybody. If you want to know about it for you personally, then you can contact Sharon. But the biggest thing that I want to say is thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for last minute allowing, being part of us flying by the seat of our pants and just getting this together. And so what we would really love is for you to tell people about this. If you thought this was of value, if you felt like that you got something from this, we would love to have other people join us in February. And join our group, www.joinmoongatherings.com, so that you can, we won't inundate you with stuff. We just want to let you know when we're doing these and what you want to be aware of with a new and a full moon, and what beliefs would be nice to change, what oils will support your vibration. This is all about vibration and raising it. That's what we're doing here. So I don't know if anybody else just wants to pipe up and say thank you as well that's from our panels, but we appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks. Right, Sharon?
Yes, 2 weeks.
All right.
Yep, 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.